Hey y'all, hey, come on in, come on in. It's your girl, Hope with JCD Creations. I'm annoyed. I just I just did a whole video, guys, 14 minutes long, only to realize that there's no sound when I go back to check it. Anyway, guys, I'm just coming to do a recap on my sales for Valentine's Day. I hope that you guys are doing well and resting. And if you're anything like me, you've been trying to prepare yourself for Easter by cleaning up and boxing up whatever you need to box up, clean up, or resting. So my recap for Valentine's Day is that I made 250 plus gifts. I have 41 left. 3 of that 41 is men gifts. Like my big ones that the women, they weren't trying to buy it. So that's fine because now I could recycle them for something else that I need because I do have an order for a male's gift. So that kind of worked in my favor. I have 3 Valentine theme gifts left, which I'm okay with because I could just roll it over to next Valentine's. There's no candy or anything in it. I only did maybe 2 or 3 gifts with candy, and they were basically geared towards kids. And as far as children gifts, they did very well for me. I made 10 children's gifts, 5 boys, 5 girls, and then they sold out. So I had to make 10 more on site. As I was making them and completing the last one, a young lady came up and wanted to purchase, asked me if I had any girl gifts. And I told her yes. I'm just getting done with them. She asked how many do I have. I said I have 10 plus that one that's made in a crate. She said, awesome. I need all 10. I said, all 10? Guys, they didn't even make it to the shelf. And I'm okay with that. So I said, okay, no problem. Because I already know that I have enough for 10 more in the U-Haul that I could assemble on site. Okay? So that's what I do on my downtime. So, during she and I conversation, she said, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take that other one just in case I'm miscounting someone. And I was like, okay, so you want all 11 girls? And she said, yes, no problem. I gave them to her. So she left, and I had a gentleman come up. He wanted to buy a gift. He wanted to purchase 2 gifts. However, he wanted me to give him $10 off of those 2 gifts. Well, yeah, that'll be a hard no. I'm not going to do that. So he says, well, you rather lose a sale than to give me $10 off? I said, yes. He said, well, I'm just going to go up the street. I said, okay, that's fine. He said, so you're really not going to give me a discount? I said, absolutely not. It's already discounted. I discounted it because it's Valentine's Day. And I know the value of my gifts. I know the time that I put into them, the love, and how meticulous I am with my gifts. So yeah, no, I am willing to lose a sale over that. So he leaves in a huff, which is fine with me. I could care less. So he said okay, and he left. Then he comes back 50 minutes later, and the petty side of me could not wait to tell him that those 2 gifts that you wanted sold at full price by somebody else already, and I don't have any more. So he comes up on the truck and he wants to know, hey, I'm here to pick up those 2 gifts that I wanted to get. That's how he said it, guys. And I'm like, oh, they're sold. I no longer have them. He was like, they're gone already? I said, yeah. I said, as soon as you pulled up, a gentleman pulled up and purchased 7 gifts from me. And those 2 was included in the 7 that he purchased. So guys, he ended up spending an additional $20 more than what he was gonna originally spend before he skedaddled up the streets, okay? And come back to purchase from me. So I'm thinking, okay, I guess that taught you a lesson to try to, talk someone down, and then you come back and it's gone. So that was the only issue I had besides someone taking my spot for me to actually sell, which was okay with the parking. It turns to have worked in my favor to begin with, for me to set up on the U-Haul. So I just had, instead of me getting mad and getting upset, I had to be still in that moment and hear what God wanted me to do. Because I said, well, God, I don't know what you want me to do. At that point, I was glad that I wasn't the person that I used to be. Because, I wanted to go and be real petty. Of course, professionally petty. Nice, nasty, if you will. But I chose the higher road. I set up in my U-Haul, and thank God the 8th and that, was it the 12th or the 13th? The 12th and the 8th worked in my favor, because I sold just enough gifts, guys, for when I went on the 13th to set up, and I realized I didn't have anywhere to set up at, and I was going to have to use the U-Haul. I had just enough gifts, guys, to set up in the U-Haul without me having to cram the gifts on top of each other or not have enough space for the gifts that I had. Mind you, 250 plus gifts. Where was I going to do with them in a little U-Haul, right? But God already knew the challenges that I was going to face those next couple of days. Had I not been listening, and had I not been still to hear him say, set up in your U-Haul, I would have just had a tist and went home mad and not sold a thing, right? So I'm glad that I was still. Because when I tell you guys, those customers was coming, oh my God, back to back to back to back. I said, look at God. And that's, to me, was my reward for being obedient and being still and listening and biting my tongue and turning the other cheek. So that's the way I looked at it, that he had shown me favor for doing that and staying the course and trusting that what he said and standing on his word and knowing that no matter what the obstacle was, what God had for me on that day was for me. I just had to find a way, because I know that God was making a way out of no way, and he did. So, my recap, the only things that I didn't sell, which I knew I didn't sell a lot of, but I did sell a few of them, were my Still Classy inspired bubble bath and steamer gifts in the bag, and those cubes with the mist or the perfume in it. And I sold maybe 2 or 3 of those. in my mug gifts, I wasn't expecting for the small gifts to sell as well, because to me, they're more Mother Day-ish to me. And that's really what I started out designing them for, was Mother's Day. So I'm okay with them rolling over to Mother's Day, because that's what I had originally designed them for anyway. I was just taking them out to test the waters. So to have 41 gifts left out of 250 plus, I'm okay with that. I have a few gifts that, like the small gifts for Mother's Day. But guys, now I have to really be creative with some heavy hitters for Mother's Day, because I wasn't able to get any of the after Christmas sets. I wasn't able to catch any of the sales. I was able to catch the sales, but there were not anything there that I could possibly use for Mother's Day, except for the loofahs, and that was really it. Of course, they had the Dr. Teals, but nothing more to go with that. So yeah, guys, that's my setup. And like I said, the ones that didn't sell were the coffee, some of my coffee mug sets, the Still Classy inspired gifts. And I had a few gifts that was ripped because my husband picked them up by their ponytail and snatched their edges, which broke, the bag is weak. So, those edges are weak. When you pick those gifts up by their ponytail, anything liable to happen from the base on up. The whole gift can just come out. You can put a hole in it by picking it up. So, yeah, he snatched a good bald spot in the edges of one of my gifts. But I had 3 additional ones. So I put those out, and I put that on my sample table. So outside of my U-Haul and one of the parking spots that they did leave available, I was able to set up a table with sample gifts. And my husband was located at the sample table. Once they come up to the table, he then ushered them into the U-Haul. And that's how we worked that. And when I tell you guys, I felt so good not having to chase my gifts because the wind is blowing them across the parking lot or blowing them off the table, fighting them like Mike Tyson's, and they didn't have the energy to become Evander Holyfield. So my gifts I didn't have to worry about that anymore, being in the U-Haul. So them taking those parking spots and being nasty didn't even stop anything. If anything, it worked in my favor. I said, well, the Lord knew what he was doing, because otherwise I would have been running, catching my gifts off the table, if they're busted up or not, or trying to tie a rope around them to keep them on the table, which majority of the time wasn't working either. So, and then guys, it was a blessing because it started to rain. And I only had 4 sample gifts out. So I was able to just bring those into the truck with no problem. What I did was, when we broke down on the 13th, I had my husband to anchor the tables down to the wood that's inside of the U-Haul. I said, I'm not taking these tables down. So we did that. We anchored them to the wall and rode with them like that. And I just put the gifts in front of each table that they were going to be on when I came back. I also anchored my shelving units that I had. If you guys seen my video, my live video of this U-Haul setup, I anchored those down as well. So when I pulled up on Valentine's Day, setup was so fast because the gifts was already in front of the table that they belonged to. I didn't have to set the tables up. I didn't have to set the shelving up. I just had to take the small items that I put into the boxes that went on those shelves, put them on the shelves, put the gifts on the table, unhook the tie that was holding the table, and I was set up. Guys, I was set up in less than 30 minutes, which is amazing for me. Because we all know time is money, okay? And as soon as I got done setting up, people was pulling up. So that worked in my favor, even though they were being mean and evil and, just being unprofessional people, and parking in spots that not even their property, guys. And I was so mad that they didn't come to me on the 14th, because guess what, guys? On Valentine's Day, I got there early because I was petty Betty. You hear me? I knew that office, and I found out it was the dentist people parking there along with the guy that was selling trucks. So when I seen that the dentist personnel was parking there, never have parked there before, guys. They have a whole nother parking lot, but they were being nasty because they thought that was their property. So I sent my husband, y'all brother, down to the city to get a good old map as to what property lines, where the city begins and where the county starts. Okay. So I had him do that, and I said, get a printout and ask them where this property ends. So guys, I was armed and dangerous, but they never came to me that morning when I set up. I was petty, and I had to ask the Lord to forgive me because I was petty. I put my box of roses in one slot. I put my table in another slot, and I put my chair in an empty tote, y'all. I know it's petty. I put an empty tote in the third slot. Now, the gentleman still had his car there for sale, which is fine with me. I don't care about that. So when these people pulled up to get ready to whip in there, to park in their parking spots that don't belong to them, I was waiting for them to come. So, and I had my little map whipped out with dentist on it and me, right? My little spot was marked me. Their spot where they're in that was marked dentist. Mind you, no one came, and nobody came, but I was ready, guys. I was ready on the 13th. But when I got ready to, I told my husband, I said, I can't wait for them to clock out and come to their cars. Because she was nasty when I asked her, about parking there, So she was nasty. Well, our corporate office, and she, not only was she nasty, but she was a liar as well. And we all know I despise a liar, a user. And, so that even infuriated me even more, that you're going to play in my face and lie. Yeah, we're not doing that. So she's like, well, no, our corporate office told us to park here. Oh, okay. So I already knew. I said, it's no big deal. It's fine. Because I was already set up in my U-Haul. Guys, I know I'm all over the place, but stay with me. So that day came, and I kept waiting for them to clock out on the 13th. But it was not meant for me to say anything, y'all. Because when they clocked out, I was in the U-Haul with customers. So I come out and I keep peeking my head around the corner. I asked my husband, I said, babe, where those cars at? He said, they gone. I said, gone? And he said, yeah, they been left, babe. I said, well, where was I? Because, I'm ready to whip this map out and show them. This is not even your property that you're trying to talk about, and tell a whole bald-faced, slick lie that your corporate office told you to park there. It's not even your property. Okay? So I was mad about that. I was more mad that I couldn't tell them and whip out my map that I had so graciously had husband go and get and marked. But it wasn't meant for me to be petty that day. So I decided to be petty the next day by setting one item in each slot. and setting up my U-Haul and sitting outside waiting for them to come. And again, no one approached me for me to whip out my map. Guys, I'm bummed about that. But it probably worked best in my favor that I didn't say anything, because I'm telling you, I woke up ready to be petty because I just could not believe that they knew on the 12th I was set up in that parking lot. And I had multiple customers. And then the next morning, they had to have gotten there real early, guys, to block me. But again, what God has for me is for me. That wasn't stopping anything. I put my chair up. I had my husband to stop to get some balloons so that they could fly on top of those roses that I got to send back to Timu because they're full of glue. I had them sitting there and the balloons was flying. So people already knew that I was there, and they was coming, guys, non-stop, which was a blessing. And I said, I had to apologize. I said, Lord, I'm sorry because I really wanted to be petty. So you showed me that it wasn't necessary. But boy, was I ready. I was ready. You hear me? It was go time. I just didn't have nobody to go on. Isn't that something? I said, Lord, you know you got a sense of humor because you know your daughter petty, okay? I put the P and the Y in petty. I was waiting. No one came. But my blessings came. And that, to me, was worth more than anything that I was willing to be petty about. So, guys, if you guys didn't sell out, it's okay. That just puts you in advantage for Mother's Day. That means that you can focus more on Easter without having to worry about how many gifts you got to make for Mother's Day. So we have to see the positive in it. Yeah, we didn't completely sell out, but it works in our favor because it catapults us into the next holiday that we would need those gifts for. And if you have a whole lot of Valentine gift that's Valentine designed like this one, so put it up for next year. It's going to still be Valentine's next year. These colors going to still be the same. I mean, the writing on the bear ain't going to change. It's not going to fade. So, guys, choose your battles wisely. Stress out about those things that really matter, because this is not one of them. Not selling out is not one of them. Now, how we're going to elevate our gifts from last year for Mother's Day is something we need to be thinking about, because we do not want to really be a repeat offender in most cases. But we do want to rotate the ones that work for us the last time and work again, because all our clientele is not going to always be the same. You're going to always get different customers. So don't say, oh, I made this last year, I don't really want to make it. Revamp it, reimagine it, and stick it out there. And if you can't reimagine it or reinvent it, stick it out there anyway. Okay? Tighten those bags up, because you know those bags done went to sleep after being packaged up or on the shelves, or the edges done been snatched. You know, you pulled a ponytail, the rubber band that got loose, you know? Yeah. We have to just go ahead on and put them out there, not worry about it. Okay, guys? So that's my recap on my Valentine's Day gifts. Children did well, women did well, men was okay. 41 gifts left. I left out of 250 plus. I'm okay with that. It's a blessing to me. And that let me know that I'm doing something semi-right, if not all the way right. In this basket designing business, we are constantly learning from each other. We are, and I'm a LLC whatever I want an LLC because, listen, there's nothing wrong with copying the right cat. Okay? So I'm a LLC. I'm a copycat. I'm going to be all of those things. But I'm also going to be creative on my own as well. We have some amazing, amazing, amazing basket designers that are willing to share tips, shed light on things, spend hours giving us gems that we can use. And they want us to use them. They're honored that we're using them. They're not offended. And that's what makes this the most amazing community to be a part of. So guys, until next time, get your house organized, get your Easter stuff together, and let's go and make this money. Okay? Like Boss Ladies Feast say, get your money and fill your bag. Guys, until the next time, be the best you that you can be. Don't stress about things you can't change. Let God handle the rest. Design, design, design. And enjoy. Have fun. Easter is the fun one. We have got to really enjoy Easter. I mean, it's my absolute favorite. So, I don't think I'm the only one. I think it's LBE's favorite as well. Because you could be a kid, you can act like a kid, and you just want to play with all the toys. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm putting them in the baskets, and if they got a button to push, I'm pushing them. Because I want to know what it does. And that's just the fun part. But the most exciting part, the most rewarding, is to see the smiles and the amazement on the customers' faces when they send you these pictures or send you these text messages with their kids saying how much they love them and how much they love them and how much they're going to return next year. Okay? We've already accomplished what we needed to accomplish. Putting a smile on their face and have them to return. That's what we work for. That's what we design. That's what we designed for them to do. And what we wish for them to do is to return. So guys, I'm going to quit running my mouth because my throat is getting dry. Like Shunk say, my throcolopicus is getting dry again. So I'm going to let you guys go. Until next time, be the best you that you can be. Don't stress. God will handle the rest. And don't worry about things you can't change. What can you do? Pray about it, let it go, and let God. Until next time, guys, I hope this video has sound, because if it does not, I will not do another one. I refuse to do a take 3. So, guys, in Jesus' name, I pray that this has sound. Till next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening, your morning, your day, your noon, whatever time you're watching this video. Okay? See ya.